Hey everyone, welcome back to Skip Skool and another full end breakdown. Today we're talking about playing an end without the hammer. So let's take a look at where we are. We're in the third end. My team is up 3-0. We're playing the red stones. So in this situation, what we're really trying to do is bring the action to the forefoot because we want to force our opponent to score just one, get the hammer back, or try to steal a point. Now for the opponents, by playing in the forefoot, we're forcing them to make one of three decisions: either play down to it, take it out, or ignore it and play their corner guard to try to generate a big end. Their skip has decided they want to try to play down to it right away. Now, with this strategy, what we're really trying to do is we're trying to force all the action into the forefoot area. The more we can kind of just jam into this area, it's going to lend itself to a very small end because there's going to be so many rocks. It's going to be really hard to generate a lot of points because we're effectively trying to shrink this scoring zone. Now, with this shot, what we're looking to do is we're actually trying to guard it, but actually guard it in the house. We don't want to leave guards out in front of the house. That's going to give our opponents something to hide behind. We don't want to give them those opportunities. And we're trying to shrink the house and shrink the scoring zone. And as it would turn out later in the game, when there was a lot of rocks out front, when there were a lot of guards, this team was able to take advantage of it, and they actually came back, and this game ended up in a tie. So the guards out in front, they can pose a trouble if you are trying to hold a lead. The other thing, what can happen a lot in some of these games too is, you catch some breaks, and a lot of the time that you win games, it's sometimes you make a lot of good shots. Sometimes your opponents are missing shots. That's what happened with their lead. So their lead had some trouble trying to play down to it, had trouble trying to do a double takeout here. So we were able to take advantage of it. Now we were trying to put another one in the house, kind of another guard. This one hogged, but it was thrown lightly. So as I said before, I'm saying this to my skip too, is like, hey, that's not the worst thing because we're not leaving a guard up there. If that would have stayed on the center line, if that would have covered up the pin out in front, they could have had an opportunity to just kind of come right behind us, and then maybe we aren't able to potentially steal, and we might not be able to get this force like we want to. So here's their first rock. They're going to do a good job of taking ours out and sitting right in front of our other one. That's what the situation is from up above. So they're sitting shot rock, but we're still in a good position because that red rock in the 8-foot is shrinking that scoring zone. Now, we're going to try to take this one out as well, because if we just keep taking their rocks out, it's going to be hard for them to score. We just tap it over a little bit and we lose our shooter. Not the ideal outcome, but still in a good spot for this end. Now, they're going to come down and sit on ours, because if they do, that's going to put them in a good position to score 2. But the other thing that has happened, though, too, is we've actually created, by having them come and sit down on this, they're actually creating a little bit more of a pocket for us to just come down into and draw into. And that's going to lead to that scoring zone continuing to shrink. So they freeze it down there, tap it back a little bit, and this is going to be my shot coming up. And like I just said, coming down, sitting on that shot rock, giving ourselves that little pocket to come down into is going to shrink this scoring zone even further. And with no rocks out in front, a lot of opportunities to just get something into the forefoot. So rocks on its way, had to throw just a T-line weight, threw it a little heavy here, and you're going to see what happens here. We're going to hit the yellow one. That's going to take our red one out of the back, but we're going to be sitting shot, and we're going to be in good shape. So I want to show you what it looked like before. This is what the situation looked like before. Now, that red rock in the 8-foot probably wasn't going to score, so losing it in this situation, not the worst. Now, this is the new result. Next to it, we're sitting shot. We're a little bit closer to their yellow rock on the back of the forefoot, and we're sitting shot right now. So we've shrunk that scoring zone. We're in pretty good shape. Now, they're going to come down, try to take us out. They take their own out. We stick around. But once again, we have a lot of options here without the hammer to shrink this scoring zone. So we're going to take a look at it from up above. I'm going to show you a couple options here. So we can freeze on the one in the forefoot there. We can freeze on the other one over here, or we can just take this rock out, which is what the call is right here. And if we stick around, that forces them to come and take us out. If we, lose it, that's okay. So here comes my shot. The between the 4-foot lines there, ice was really swingy, so only get a piece of it, peel it out of there. But it's not the worst result though either, because now at least they don't have something that they can probably come down and sit on, or just come take us out and kind of work towards getting there too. So there's our new setup there. Yellow still shot rock, red in the 8-foot. Probably in hindsight, probably maybe try to play that coming down to it, because you just continue to shrink that scoring zone. But the result here worked. It had a lot of options, which is always good. So now they're going to try to actually protect their shot rock here. So they're going to get one in, but they can play kind of a guard and also sit 2 at the same time based kind of where our red rock is. Fortunately, their rock, a little too much on it, goes through the back of the house. So now here's our situation, same setup. Now we want to play this freeze. We want to try to get right on top of this yellow one. It's not necessarily to try to be shot rock, but once again, all we're trying to do is shrink this scoring zone so that it's going to make it a lot harder for them to generate 2 points. So here comes our Skip's first stone. Get on it right as it's about to approach the hog line, and we can see it's coming in really nicely. It's got a little bit of a weight. It's going to give it a little bit of a tap. We're going to get a live overhead view. Tap it back a little bit. Now we're sitting shot. We've also put it in a pretty tough spot for them to just kind of come down and try to throw some weight and take it out. So now what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to freeze on us as well. This is actually a really good outcome for us, because if they just come down and try to freeze on it, we're not going to be able to give up a lot of points here. So here comes their shot. Sweepers are on it the whole way. Now they're giving it a look, sweeping it a little bit more, and it's coming in pretty nicely for them. And it's going to have a really good finish, and it is going to sit shot, but it's not really next to anything. So I come down right away and we just want to sit right there. And if we give it a little bit of a tap right there, freeze, or just give it a little bit of a tap and try to maybe push it out a little bit, we might sit 2, which would be great. But if we sit 1, that's even better, because then that just forces the draw for 1 for them. And that was the ultimate goal. We want to force them to 1 and then get the hammer for the 4th end. And if you've been watching any of the curling trials happening lately, having the even end hammers is very important, especially later in the game. So rock came in a little bit heavy. It looked like it was going to start curling in like the last one did, and it really didn't. I talked to my sweepers about that afterwards, so it leaves an open hit for 2 here in the house. So not great, but in a game situation like this, if you've forced your other team, you played really well to try to force the 1, and now they only get 2. Not the worst, but as it comes down, it doesn't quite nose it. You see it live up above, and I'm able to sweep it out. And we forced them to take their 1, which was the goal all along. I have another video about how you can set up an end when you are playing without the hammer, so check that out. And just in general, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this full end breakdown to get a little bit of an insight on how you can play when you don't have the hammer to try to force 1 on your opponent. And just, like and subscribe, get more Skip Skool action here on this channel. Appreciate all the support. And if you have any other ideas for some more Skip Skool, just let me know. Thanks for watching.